Welcome back, Holotable heroes, to another truly horrendous Galactic challenge. You thought JML was bad? Well, just you wait if you don't have Relic Tuskens. I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 feats and Tuskens didn't count for one of them. Roll the intro. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very sorry, I cannot provide you with a red box for this. You'll have to, well, if you've got Relic Tuskens, I'm sure it'll be fine, all right? But I don't have Relic Tuskens, okay? I've got Trash Tuskens, Tusken Trastranus, trash. So, Global Modifier is Rebellious, and I'm feeling a little rebellious myself today. Whenever an enemy uses a special ability, they call to assist a random ally, which can be useful, can be very useful. And whenever a character attacks their turn, they gain a stack of that Rebellious, which increases their crit chance and crit damage. If they get 20 stacks, they gain an additional 30% offense, which is actually quite cool. Tusken Ambush is our modifier, which is actually phenomenal. It is a really, really good modifier. It gives us a boatload more health and defense. It gives us more speed. We get that ambush mechanic, which is kind of works like a pseudo taunt only for the Tuskens to ignore people. They start hitting the weakest guy, increases our momentum, and, you know, our momentum gives us loads of stacking defense and stuff. It's amazing. The enemy has got one step ahead, which basically means they are chonkier than anything that has ever chonked around, even chonkier than Smudgy Bear himself. That is correct. Yeah, it's a little bit annoying. So the feats that we got to do, we have to win with Tuskens, we have to win without using a leader, and we have to complete the battle after gaining momentum 150 times. Okay, so the first team we're going to be using is a Malak lead with Treya, Nihilus, Gideon, and I'm using Wat Tambor here. Now, the idea behind this is to annihilate people. Who'd have thought it? Malak obviously has no leadership. We're going to get a little bit of additional survivability from our good boy Wat Tambor in the mix. Let's actually start off by placing the weapons tech over on Nihilus. That's just to give him a little bit of extra TM. Then we can control the situation, strip away the enemy's TM, which is very, very nice. We'll go ahead and get a armor shred over there on IG-11. Lovely jubbly. Then we can put the med pack tech on Malak. And let's put a tenacity down on somebody. Let's put it on Dash Rendar. Then we could do an AoE drain, increasing everybody's cooldowns, which is super, super useful. Put the Isolate on IG-11 and target Nihilus to decrease his cooldown so we can get through to that Annihilate just a little bit quicker, you understanding? You're seeing where this is going, guys. And every time they crit Malak, they're going to get feared, and it's going to increase their cooldowns, which is lovely. Let's go over here and target Queel and do a life drain. Yeah, that's just basic Queel, I guess. Queel is very annoying with his, you know, stupid mechanic savvy and his healing and all that business. Next up, I think I'll put this on Gideon, because Treya can cause cleanses for other people. Gideon is also putting that Demoralize debuff, which does a couple of things. First and foremost, it will ensure that we always increase the cooldowns when it comes to our good friends Nihilus's Annihilate ability, which is fabulous. But not only that, it's also going to decrease the damage the enemy deals by 50%. It's huge. And even with the damage decrease, they're still going to hit like absolute freight trains that have had a bit of hot chili shoved up their rear end. Now, Nihilus has got his first Annihilate. Let's get rid of Bam. Don't like him very much. You can go away. Now we just look to clean up. Cleanup time is in session, ladies and gentlemen. Let's focus on Queel because he's nearly dead. Look, 31, 36, it's crazy amounts of damage. Let's do another AoE life drain, increasing everybody's cooldowns. Nice amount of control here. Malak is only surviving by the hair of his teeth because, well, I suppose he hasn't got any teeth, has he? That poor, unfortunate incident with Darth Revan losing his jaw. He's hanging on just about through virtue of Moff Gideon's demoralized, I think, right now. But also the med pack tech, just giving him that little bit of extra survivability. We've nearly got ourselves another Annihilate as well, which is lovely. Come on then. Let's be having you. I'll get rid of that defense down on Treya. Let's get a nice ability block on Dash Rendar. Now, you can just annihilate IG-11, but IG-11 isn't any kind of threat. So, let's get rid of Ordo. Excuse me, I do apologize. And then we could just focus on Dash Rendar. See, honestly, guys, this is really not so bad once, you know, you get into the swing of things. So long as you get rid of Bam before he gets off of Whistling Birds, you're generally going to be okay. There we go. We could just go ahead and put auto by now because IG-11 can't actually do anything. Not against a full team like this. He doesn't have the DPS. He does have the survivability, strangely enough, because he can recover a lot of protection. And he's always cleansing all of his debuffs, obviously. But yeah, eventually we will get to another Annihilate, or Malak might get a couple of life drains off, or anything like that. But this team, it just works, guys. It just works. And it doesn't require a GL at all. Relatively accessible characters all around. There's only really Malak who is particularly tough. You don't need a high relic Wat Tambor. You just need Wat Tambor to get a couple of the techs off. There's a life drain to finish it off. So that will give us a no leader victory, which is really not so bad. Next up, we're going to look at how do we do it with the Tuskens. Now, I was able to do it at tier 8, but you don't need to do it on tier 8. You can actually do it on tier 7, I believe, and still get second best rewards. What is tier 7 going to be giving us? Let's have a look. It's only 5 extra data discs, so that would put us at 143 roughly. Yeah, I'm pretty certain that would be okay. So let's first and foremost show you how I go ahead and get the momentum 150 times on tier 10. Again, I'm not even sure if you need to do it on tier 10. You might be able to get away with it on tier 9. Alrighty, so the team that we're using is actually a Tusken Chieftain lead. Mine is only like Gear 7, Gear 8, and I'm using over here. So I've obviously modded him to be fast, because that's all I want from him. And then I've thrown in Treya, Darth Revan, and Malak as my final trio. Now, this is by no means a guaranteed victory. You just have to do a couple of things to try and increase your odds. Always try to target, at least with the Tuskens, the enemy that's got ambushed. In this case, it's Queel, because that's going to give us a little bit more momentum. With the Tusken Chieftain's leadership, you do need a Zeta. You will be able to get a lot of momentum whenever the enemy gains turn meter, which they're doing all the time. That first fear on IG-11 is clutch. Next, what we're going to try and do is get 2 life drains off on Beskar Armor Mando before he can go into Whistling Birds, or before he can use Whistling Birds. So he's in the stance now. We're waiting for Canderous to go in. There's a hit. We lose Chieftain. That's okay. Drain off. Bam is gone. Isolate and place it on Malak. He's basically our win mechanic right now. He's the guy that's going to be doing all the damage. Just because you got rid of Bam, do not be fooled into thinking that it's going to be easy from here, because it's not. They've got stupid amounts of damage output and stupid TM generation. It's important to try and get that shock out, because that will stop TM gains. And of course, Malak can also stun then. Now, the big issue is, IG-11 can obviously dispel those debuffs, but he's isolated right now. So again, whenever it's a Tusken's turn, target the ally with the enemy with ambush, that little blue icon. That's going to make sure that you're still going to be generating lots and lots of momentum, which is what we need. We need to gain momentum 150 times. So we're just going to focus on Dash next. He's our next priority target. I don't know why I didn't hit him then, but hey. You can see Malak is already in a position where it's like, it's a little bit sketch. He may well die. Darth Revan coming in with AoE Fears is absolutely clutch, guys. So we've got Dash Rendar defying the laws of science by somehow surviving with about 30% of his health when I did 100% life drain. I don't understand it. Answers on a postcard for that. But yeah, we want to try and kill one person at a time. I'm not looking to do the AoE right now because I want to keep those 2 guys feared. Because if they're feared, they're not going to be taking turns, and I need the time to recover. Now that everybody's not feared, I might as well go ahead and use the AoE. That's also going to call someone into assist. We got quite fortunate there and get a daze over on Canderous. We lose Darth Revan, which sucks. But at this point, I'm feeling relatively comfortable that we should be able to outlast the opponent. Again, always keep the Isolate on IG-11. That will stop him from taunting, and always pass it over to Malak, because Malak will then be able to reset the cooldown on his life drain abilities to suck people off. And we know how much he enjoys sucking people off. Just ask Canderous. What is with this team, man? What is with this team? They should not be surviving that. I'm sure there's probably like, they take 30% less damage from all attacks or something stupid like that. But anyway, I digress. It's just down to IG and Queel, and the good thing about this is you can actually drag this battle out. If you are worried that you haven't hit the momentum, you can drag the battle out when it comes down to just IG-11, okay? Because you could quite happily just basic him forever until the clock runs out. Well, not until it runs out. Obviously, you still need to win, but you could basic him down for a long period of time, and that will always be generating your momentum, which is fabulous. Every time we're hitting the person who has got that ambushed status effect, it's not a debuff. When they've got that status effect, you're always going to be generating additional momentum, which means we're always going to be building up that number. Eventually, we will hit the 150 stacks, but it shouldn't be an issue. But if you are worried and you've got to this point, just stall out at this point. If you want to kill IG-11, you're going to need a couple of life drains from Malik. It takes a while because he can recover his protection, as you can see. Nothing we could do to stop that. And yeah, he's just kind of tanky. We're not doing boatloads of damage here outside of Malik's life drain. So we've done it once there. He's down below 100% protection. He builds it back up. He's getting like 30% of his protection back. It's ridiculous, quite frankly. And there he goes again. It's just like, yeah, I gotta see what I mean. So you could stall this out quite well. We do obviously end up winning because there's nothing that IG-11 can actually do to us to finish us off. So we've got a lot of sustainability. We've got a lot of damage output in Malik. And we can obviously keep on isolating to reset the cooldowns on our abilities. And this, as you'll see when the battle ends, does actually give me that 150 momentums. And that really comes down to the chieftain leadership and just having one Tusken in there who's going to survive. I chose Urura because I could mod him for a boatload of protection. I have him at Relic 4, I want to say, as part of, I think it's Lord Vader's requirement, perhaps. It's Lord Vader or Jabba, I can't remember which. I know I discriminate against Tuskens. They all look the same to me. There we go. We eventually get the victory there, and we should have the pop-up showing. There we go. Gain momentum 150 times on tier 10. Great. Now all we need to do is go back and get that victory with Tuskens on like tier 6. So let's do that real quick. So let's go in at tier 6 then and throw in our trusty Tuskens. Now you'll see my Tuskens are not phenomenal. I've got 2 at the relic levels. Those are just from your standard GL grinds for Lord Vader and for Jabba the Hutt. The rest are relatively low level. Yes, I've got Zetas on Tusken Warrior and Tusken Chieftain. I do feel they are worthwhile. Okay, so it's slightly different because Dash has got the he's got the ambushed ability right now, and we're just going to focus down and immediately kill him. Then we're going to go over here and we're going to focus down on Candra's Ordo because he is the next person. Just use the middle ability with Tusken Warrior. That's going to give us even more momentum. We don't have to worry about generating momentum for the feat, but it is nice to have momentum just for the extra survivability. Let's go ahead and finish off Candra's now. Lovely, he's gone. Yeah, let's actually just look to kill Queel as soon as possible as well. Keep on going, baby. Doop. And let's do a big old hit on Queel. There goes Queel, and then we can focus on Bam. Bam's going to get the Whistling Birds. Now, the Whistling Birds do a lot of damage, and their damage is actually true damage, which means it doesn't matter how much defense you stack, it's always going to do the same flat amount of damage, so we can't really mitigate against Bam's Whistling Birds so much, but it shouldn't necessarily matter if you've got some of the Tuskens at relic levels, because we should have built up enough protection in our team for it not to matter. There we go. It didn't do a whole lot of damage at this tier, so let's just keep going and finish off. Bam. Lovely jubbly, easy peasy. That will get you everything you need for the second best box, guys. Okay, and that's all you really need. You don't need to have the relic Tuskens. Should at least get you the silver box, if not the gold box. You can push it. Like I said, with my team, I was able to get it up to the tier 8, but it was a lot more RNG and it was a lot more heartache. And I would never recommend you get heartache, guys. You know how it is with these Galactic Challenge. I go bold so you don't have to. So hit that like button, subscribe to your boy Scribe, and I'll see you all in the very next video. Peace out. May the Force be with you.